All right, speaking of bantamweights, let's go to another one now. He had a phenomenal win over the weekend, beating Pedro Munhoz. And, well, I think he's your top contender. He joins us now on Skype. The one and only Funkmaster is here, Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain, how are you feeling, sir?
I'm feeling good, feeling great, man. I feel like I'm on top of the world. Ready to conquer.
Let me see your hand. Is that a cast?
It's a little bootleg cast, something they made at the hospital for me. I guess I tore the ligament on my thumb off, or I don't know. So I might have to have a small surgery with a little pin. So it takes 4 weeks to heal up. So I don't know.
Okay, so if they had to do some kind of title fight soon, Henry seems super beat up, so I don't think that they would. But I guess what you're saying is you're not going to be out for long if needed.
Yeah, it's they said it's a small procedure. They said it's probably better if I get it just so that I can have the full mobility of my thumb. I mean, after the fight, I didn't really notice it until the adrenaline came down. I was starting to bother me, but I don't know. They said this was more important than the leg.
Okay, so let's talk about your performance. Boy, that's not your best performance ever. It's pretty close. You got to be feeling great about that. Give me your grade. How do you grade yourself?
I think I get an A+. I mean, there were some things I felt I could have done a little bit better. Of course, there's always going to be takeaways like that. There's some opportunities that I thought I was going to be able to capitalize on a little bit more. But Pedro's a tough dude, man. He was able to adjust on the fly also. I think I pitched a shutout in that first round, and then the second round he made some adjustments. And then I had to make some adjustments within that second round to steal back that round, because I know he was kind of picking up a little bit of momentum in there. And there was that one body kick he caught me with, and I was like, oh. And I acknowledged it. I let him know it hurt. I was like, yeah, he got me. I was okay with letting him know. I'm like, but you're not going to get me out of there like you did Caraway. I'm not going to curl up in a little fetal position and like a little ball, So it was a great performance, man. I definitely think I showed people that I can truly do it all.
Now, the two questions. One, was the kick one of those teeps straight up the middle?
It was, well, not a teep. It was a push kick. He threw the rear leg kick. Yeah, the rear leg kick that came up the middle. And I think he threw it while I was coming in to throw a jab from the southwest side or a cross from the southwest side. And it just the way I think I was circling out and throwing the punch, it just got right underneath and just hit me right in the money spot, and it hurt. But good thing we were able to recover quickly. I did my crunches.
Now, you mentioned you had to make some adjustments in the second round. What were those adjustments, or what was one of them? What was key that had to be different for you to stay ahead?
It was where my elbow placements were in my stance. I was kind of going a little loose with my hands, and I tend to keep my hands low just so I can flow a little bit better. My punches seem to come a little faster when I throw it, when I keep my hands at a more of what people would consider unconventional stance, but it works for me. I wouldn't recommend it, teaching it to newcomers or whatnot, but I was able to keep my elbows in a little bit tighter, which allowed me to check the kicks faster. I think there was one of the kicks in the second round he threw, and I cracked him back with a cross or a 1-2, and I felt that's when the momentum started to shift back into my favor, and I think he started to realize he had to really set those up and stop just spamming them, because he was just spamming them at a point, just trying to touch. And I had to just tighten up my defense the right way. And I was just worried about the head kick, so I didn't want to keep my hands too low, thinking body, and then it comes over the top with the head kick. So I did good, just keeping the elbows right at home and protecting the ribs, and then coming back up to be able to return right after he do his strikes.
Were you surprised at his chin at all? The old boy can take a shot, can he?
Oh my God! I didn't know what else I had to hit the guy with. I was calling to Matt. I was like, "Hey, can I get a brick? Because this guy's not going down."
Pretty amazing. All right, let me tell you,
man, he's a tough dude.
Let me tell you something that happened to me yesterday. What I'm about to tell you is 100% true, Aljamain. I am not in any way exaggerating. One of the most decorated coaches in MMA texted me yesterday. Wow, where are you headed? Where are you headed?
Illuminati's.
Illuminati's?
Some deep dish pizza. Yeah.
Illuminati's. Oh, you're still in Chicago.
Yeah, still out in Chi-Town.
All right. Well, look, I'll make this relatively quick. I had one of the most decorated coaches in MMA reach out to me and say, for very technical reasons, that they believe you're the toughest matchup for Henry Cejudo. When you hear something like that, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good, man. I definitely do think so. I think I possess all the talent in the world to compete with Henry. Henry's a tough dude, man, and I think he is the pound-for-pound greatest combat athlete out there today. I mean, no one's done what that guy has done and been able to accomplish. But I will say this: when I beat Henry Cejudo, what does that make me? The pound-for-pound king. So that's what I'm looking to get my next title. So go out there, beat up Henry, and I think I'm gonna be able to take that title. I think I'm too long, too rangy. I can box, I can kick, I can wrestle, I can do jiu-jitsu. Where does he win? He's got to try to catch me. So I like my chances in that one.
All right, but he called out everybody but you. What do you make about that?
Because he wants to be the legend killer. The legend killer. Oh my goodness! You want to fight guys who haven't won a fight in God knows how long? I don't know if he's scared or I can't call him scared. You know, he's fought some of the baddest men in our weight classes in history, but you're calling out guys who haven't won a fight in 3 years, guys who are coming out of retirement, who are 40. When you got young, hungry competitors that are well deserving of a shot, I think there's something wrong with that.
Why is it you believe you have the skills? Like, what is it about what you offer that no one else offers? Because there's lots of people who are very, very tough competitors, but it's got to be more than that.
It's the funk, baby. I bring the funk. It is a different style. Sometimes people ask me like even when I teach my MMA classes at the gym, it's hard for me to teach what I do. It's just very different. It's more of a state of flow, a state of just feel. You can't, like, it's not a robotic thing where it's like 1, 2, 3 kick, 1, 2, 3 switch jab, cross. It's not like that. It's completely unorthodox, and everything's about rhythm, tempo, and pace, and it's a different style, man. And when you factor in the wrestling, the scrambles, the jiu-jitsus, I just think I'm a tough matchup for anybody in this division. Like I said before, Marlon got lucky. He got lucky. I won't make that mistake again.
In terms of what Henry's going to do, the UFC is going to let him remain the flyweight champ. So do you think he's going to fight bantamweight next, or he's going to go back down to 125? And I guess the question is, are you prepared to wait if you have to?
That's a tough question. That is a tough question. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I just, for some reason, I always felt he was just going to have to defend at 35 because he won't have to cut as much weight. Right now, I don't think there's a clear number one contender at 25. I don't think so. Maybe Joseph Benavidez, but I know they fought already. He has a win over Henry, so that could possibly happen. Or Forminga. Oh, those guys are fighting each other, though, right?
Yeah, end of the month. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So pending the results of that, I guess it's going to be decided on what's the more intriguing matchup. And hopefully it's me. I think hopefully they have a boring fight. That's what I'm hoping for. Jigs, knock on wood. I'm hoping that I did enough to impress the UFC brass.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to see how it goes. One more for you, and I'll let you go get that pizza. I guess the thing I'm thinking about here is your striking style. You came from wrestling. You came from grappling. It's been the ace in the hole for a long time. But this one was almost 100% on the feet. And you've got a really unique style. I'm wondering, like, how you must feel in nurturing that part of your game to the point where you were able to establish a number one contendership on the back of that. And there's no one else that really strikes like you except kinda a little bit John Jones.
Yeah, it's funny. People were starting to bring back those comparisons all over again, and it kind of reminded me of the beginning of my career. And at the beginning of my career, I was very wild style, very uneducated in what I was doing. I was just doing stuff I saw on YouTube, doing stuff I saw John Jones, Anderson Silva do. And it worked. Dominic Cruz, I copied a lot of stuff from those guys. And then as I got older, I started changing my style to more wrestling and kicking. And then I kind of switched. And now I'm kind of back to striking, but actually I know what I'm doing now. If that makes sense. It's such a weird evolution, the way I've been able to see myself develop just watching the beginning of my UFC career to where I am now. It's it's a problem, man. I think it's a problem for anybody. And like I said, sometimes I don't even know what I'm looking for. It's just whatever is the opening presents itself, I go for it. And I'm starting to see these openings and it's starting to feel like wrestling. And I think with anything, man, you gotta crawl before you can run, you know. And I took my baby steps. I took my lumps on the way up, and here I am, man. June 8th. June 8th was a great day. It was a great night.
It certainly was. All right, what's going to go on the pizza? Tell us.
Hopefully extra cheese, maybe some chicken, maybe some macaroni on the. But they have some mac. I don't know. We're gonna see what they recommend. I've never done a Chicago style before, so.
Well, I've got terrible news for you.
It's gonna be a good one.
It's actually delicious, but it's just not pizza. It's nothing like New York. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise.
That's what everyone's telling me. So I don't know. I heard there's a lot of dough. So
yeah,
just gonna give it a shot. You know, when in Rome, do what the Romans do.
I hear you. Go get that pizza. Hey, thank you so much for your time, Aljamain. Congratulations on the win.
Thanks for having me.
There
Make sure you guys tune in. Tune in for the next show.
We will. Thank you, Aljamain. Appreciate it. There he is. All right.